Welcome everybody to pregame for Saturday Night Greyhawk. This is session 36. We've made it all the way to session 36. 3 dozen sessions in this game. And our PCs are gathering, our players are gathering, I should say, on the Discord and in the Roll20. I think tonight we're going to have a full house. Jason is back with us. I believe everybody else is going to make it. How's everybody's week been?
Is that exciting?
Well, we had a hailstorm earlier this week and completely trashed the roof and my gardens of the old house that we're supposed to be signing paperwork on to basically transfer it to the new owners on Monday, this coming Monday. And suddenly the lender popped up and went, "We're not going to approve this loan until you've had an adjuster out and have a total amount of what's going to be paid for by the insurance company, because we don't want to support this unless we can have it prove that the amount that we're going to be lending is what the house is worth now."
Yeah.
Or will be. Yeah, so, yeah, it couldn't have happened at a worse time.
Like a week later and you'd have been fine.
Yeah, a week later we would have been fine, but no.
No, of course, it always has to do that way. Jeez. Louise, Murphy's Law strikes again.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, some of you may be too young to know Murphy's Law.
Oh.
Back in my day. Murphy's Law said anything that can go... Whoa, somebody's super robotic. Yeah, whoever was trying to talk, fix your connection.
Reboot.
Murphy's Law says anything that can go wrong will go wrong, and it will go wrong at the worst possible time.
Oh, yeah. And we joke in this house that if it wasn't for bad luck, we'd have no luck at all.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's our life. It's not a life, but it's our life.
Yeah, hey, there you go, Casca. Much better connection now. No more robot Casca. All right, well, the clock in the system tray says that it has reached the bottom of the hour. I'm going to turn our musicians down. I love the musicians over here at the Friendly Tavern, but they always set us right next to the stage, and those guys play pretty loud, so got to turn them down a little bit. Go to the amps and turn down the volume. All right, I am DM Galabond, and I am joined tonight by the players. I think we'll be joined by Marcel in a few minutes. I haven't seen anything that he's not coming tonight, so he should be here, and we will be able to get started. In the meantime, I want to recap what happened in our game previously. The PCs had been a few sessions ago. The PCs were driven out of the temple by all of the defender forces that were there. They had to flee with their Knoll allies and some of the mercenaries that they had with them. Then they regrouped outside for a bit, and a scouting party from inside the temple came out. There was another skirmish. They fought and defeated them. And then they said, with all of the people down here and the fact that we know there's reinforcements coming, Ooh, this would probably be a good time to go back to Hamlet and regroup. So they also had a bunch of loot they needed to sell from earlier, and they couldn't sell it in a place as small as Hamlet. They had to go somewhere else. So they went back to Hamlet, had a conversation with Rufus and Byrne, who are connected with the wizards from the Circle of Eight. And then the party went off to Verbabunk, took care of some business, came back, and they discovered that in that journey while they were gone, because, they don't have magic flying carpets yet, they still have to trudge overland with caravans or on foot. And so it took them over 20 days to get to Verbabunk and back to Hamlet. And by that time, the reinforcements for the Allies and the reinforcements for the Temple Defenders had gotten to the temple site, and there was a big, huge battle, which they've heard about. But until now, as our story opens and they actually reach the grounds of the temple, they haven't seen what the aftermath of that battle looks like. And so, players, as you get to this location and you start looking around, you see that this place is, well, it's got a bit of a lived in and fought over look. I will send your notice up towards the northern part of our map, where you will see that a bunch of earthwork berms have been thrown up, and some trenches had been dug, and those types of things. It looks like it's fairly defensive. That is one sample of one of the sets of earthwork berms and trenches that you find around here. There are several others located in other parts of this area surrounding the above ground portion of the temple and surrounding the safe cottage. And then you also notice that dotting the landscape, there are craters. These craters are anywhere between 10 to 20 feet in diameter. And it just looks like everything in that crater got completely burned as by magical fire. So you heard that the wizards from the Circle of Eight had been involved in this battle and that they were slinging some spells. And yeah, landscape pretty much looks like they did. So, yeah, if you're going to do anything with this property, well, that's just a little bit of property renovation, or you can either say those are now really cool landscape features that you want to include in your updated landscaping plan once you finish dealing with the creatures inside the temple itself. So, I think I have pretty much on the screen from the discussion we had towards the end of last time. I can adjust and bring out more tokens for us to make sure we have what we want. But I believe your thought in going into the temple itself was it would be the core group of you. You would take Brother Tuck. You would take, I think, one or two gnolls, and I believe you were also going to take Burrell, who has kind of been your de facto mercenary leader, and Alcott, who's sort of the guy that showed up at one point along with some cultists from Null, but you found out, oh, he's just another mercenary that had worked with Burrell before, and he was doing a job with the cultists because they had promised to pay him. Once you made it clear that, or once Burrell made it clear that you all paid on time and paid better than the cultists, he was like, yeah, sure, my sword's yours. So, uh, he was a pretty easy hire from that standpoint. So, do I have that correct that you guys were thinking about primarily yourselves and then maybe a couple of humans and a couple of gnolls going with you?
Yes, and then we were only 5 gnolls at the safe house and 5 at the tower. If I remember right.
Okay. So 5 gnolls at the safe house and 5 at the tower. Well then, what we can do is we can take these guys. I'll put them over here, and I will bring them here, and we will call these guys. Let me get that, and we'll say this is safe house. We will put these guys as safe house patrol. And then we'll get these guys. And I will bring them over here. Oops. Them over here. These guys down here with you. And then I will make these guys as the our lookouts. Yeah, fudge. Okay, so those are the tower lookouts and the safe house guys. All right. So we will send them. Is there anything else, or do we have that pretty well set up at this point? Everybody in agreement?
I'm good with it.
Okay.
Sounds good.
One thing that you did miss, Jason, is you guys did find out why that wolf had been following you.
Okay.
And it didn't have, well, I should say one person in the party found out. Everybody else was here, so they heard what happened, but their characters didn't hear what happened. It turned out that wolf was interested in somebody else in the party. Yes.
Okay.
And somebody had a very stressful night when the full moon was in the sky.
Okay.
So,
I saw the pictures in our chat. I thought maybe we got some new friends to hang out with.
oh, somebody got some new friends.
All right. I'll wait for the surprise.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the upshot of it is the one thing you might have heard from it is that Oh yeah, the wolves. The wolves do appreciate your your handouts. So,
Okay.
so they're. It's not a. It sounds like, at least at the moment, it's not a threat to the party, but who knows?
Right. Okay.
Oh,
All right. So, uh, anything you guys want to do at the safe house before you head in back into the um oh, I should say, by the way, when you get here to the safe house, there is a small contingent. There's about 25 um or there's a total of about 25 uh people who are soldiers from Greyhawk that are positioned between the tower, the safe house, and sort of the grounds around here. They have an encampment that is not too far from the safe house, and they are led by a gentleman, and his name is Lieutenant. Let's see. His name is Lieutenant Garrett. No. Garrett, leader of the contingent of soldiers from Greyhawk. And they, as you get maybe a half a mile from the grounds, you meet two of them who come riding up on their horses. Now, clearly, they have the banners identifying them as people of Greyhawk. They have the Greyhawk insignia on their uniforms and on their shields. So, and they're not trying to be subtle. They are approaching from far enough away that they know you guys can see them coming. Um, they also don't seem to be terribly surprised nor alarmed to see that you are in the company of a few gnolls, although the gnolls do uh, kind of get a little bit, they get in a little bit closer and, try to put you all between themselves and the soldiers. Uh, the lieutenant raises a hand in greeting and looks at you and basically picks out Arcturus and says, "Oh, you must be Sir Arcturus." And Arcturus acknowledges that, yes, okay, well, we were told that you would be back in some time. He gives you a brief recap of the battle, saying that, almost the same thing verbatim that Lord Rufus had told you. He does tell you that they found, they were warned about gnolls, that you all had some gnoll allies, and they stayed clear of the safe house for the most part because they found that in one of the storage rooms of the safe house, it kind of looked like it had been set up as a makeshift, sort of butcher's area where sides of meat that they didn't want to guess what that meat came from were hung to dry, and a lot of their soldiers were very disturbed by that. But Leoman made it clear, no, these people are our allies. They have gotten gnolls to work with them. Let's just run with it and don't attack any gnolls unless they attack you. But then, of course, the gnolls told you that with that overwhelming force, they said, "Yeah, we're just going to get out of here and not, not go against that big army." So now that they see you all are with the gnolls, they don't seem surprised. But they do kind of, it's clear that Lieutenant Garrett does question you allowing the gnolls to practice, uncivilized dining habits, I guess. He seems to be a little bit, he's a little bit too citified for that to seem normal to him. But he won't. He's not going to give you any big gruff about it because Leoman outranks him, and he doesn't want to get fireballed. So, I see from Marcel he's having problems with his router, so he'll be along when he can. Let us see. So then they say that now that you all are here, they'll ask if you feel like you have enough forces to maintain a watch on the place, because they are overdue to get back to Greyhawk. And as soon as they can break camp and leave, they will do so if you don't need them any further.
Yeah, we're fine.
Okay.
Okay.
He reports that after the major battle, there have been no more scouts coming up from the temple complex below. And he says that he was told that after 4 days, whatever wards 4 days after the battle, whatever wards the wizards had put on that area would have dissipated, because they didn't do enough casting to make it permanent, basically, to make permanent wards. They just did it enough to last for a few days. And by this time, that has dissipated. So he says any traps you run into would be traps placed by the defenders of the temple, not by Leoman and his allies, the other wizards.
Gotcha.
So they will all go back, and there are the sounds of bugles, and bugles make certain calls and are answered by other bugle calls, and people start gathering together, and then it's very much like very disciplined breaking down of their camp and gathering together of their supplies and packing up the horses and the pack animals and everything, and then they mount up in the saddle, and Lieutenant Garrett comes back and gives you all one final salute and wishes you good luck, and then in a cloud of dust they ride off in the general direction of Greyhawk, which is from here. That would be kind of off to the little bit north and mainly to the east, I think, here. So after a couple of hours, you all are left on your own, and it's maybe mid-afternoon by this point. So, what do you all do to secure this place, or anything in particular before you decide to head on in?
God, I'm drawing a blank today. There it is. I mean, Min's pretty good at kind of seeing what it takes, but she's a little distracted as she's been trying to mess with kind of figuring out a couple of spells and stuff like that, so she's kind of oblivious at the moment. Unless somebody points her in a direction and goes, do this.
Okay.
We're all rested?
Yeah. You've just been riding, so I think all of these hit points have everybody at full health. You should be at full health. If you are not, the one thing I won't guarantee is I won't guarantee that the hit points on here are up to date for your PCs. So go ahead and verify that your hit points on your tokens match the hit points on your character sheet. All right. And if there's nothing else, then I guess you have your. Well, would you want to spend the night here at the safe house and then get started in the temple in the morning, or do you want to go straight into the temple this afternoon?
Spend the night here so we're fresh when we go in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So, the rest of the afternoon passes, and since you've kind of split up your gnolls, and some of them are here at the safe house with you, and some of them are at the tower, are you guys going to take part in the watch rotations at this point?
I don't think we need to.
No, yeah, it's all up to the gnolls, right?
Well, okay, so Burrell and Errolk, who are, Burrell is kind of the mercenary leader and Errolk is the gnoll leader. They will each assign some watches, and between the 5 in the safe house and the 5 NPCs that are going with you guys, they will split up so that there's 4 watches during the night. 4 watches with 2 people each. So you guys can go ahead and rest. And let me make a couple of checks here. All right, the night seems to pass pretty much uneventfully, and the morning dawns, and you are ready to go into the temple, unless there's anything that anybody wants to do before heading down.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, so we will let's copy this group of tokens. And we will go to the go back to this area here. Take this group of tokens down over here, put them there, and then I will take people out of the walls so you're not crushed by the walls when I move the map. That would not be any fun. All right. I have to move this. Where do we go? We move there. Okay. Might be seeing a black screen. No,
I got
there
it.
we go. All right. So, you are back down in the room or you were back. You go down the tunnel through that area where you fought the wizard, fought the assassin. Then you found that place where you climbed up the ladder and you got to this particular level that you've been exploring so far. And when you get here, there's definite signs that people have been around. The last time you were here, there were bodies all over the place and whatnot. Well, those bodies are gone. There are some marks, like drag marks of dried blood, where it looks like bodies had been dragged off to different places. You cannot follow those for a long distance. You follow them 10 or 15 feet and then they kind of fade out. But it's pretty clear that a lot of that has been scoured and cleaned up. So you see the evidence that there had been some work here to erect some temporary, defensive barriers that people could hide behind in case more people came down into the temple from above. But there's nobody at those barriers at this point. So, looks like people had been there, maybe expecting somebody to come down immediately. When nobody did, they must have fallen back. So where would you like to go and what would you like to explore?
I think maybe we kind of need to do like we did before and maybe just work like west to east and kind of peek in those little rooms that we saw previously and make sure that there's not a bunch of people hanging out there and we get kind of deep in here and get snuck up on from behind.
Okay, yes. That's one other thing you learned, I'm glad you mentioned that, Jason, something I didn't clarify. That big battle involving all the Circle of Eight wizards and the soldiers from Greyhawk, that resulted in about 100 defenders of the temple. Not all of those being reinforcements, a lot of those being people that came up from underground. About 100 of them being killed and about 50 more of them being captured. So the speculation, the mystical voice of the universe speculation, is that you might now see the forces down here in the temple reduced by as much as 50%.
Okay.
So not quite the not quite the extensive defensive force that you found here. That was one of the reasons they sent an overwhelming army, is to kind of not only fight off the defenders, but then to hopefully draw out some of the defenders from underground and deal with some of them.
Okay.
But their purpose was not then to go in. Their purpose was just to not allow any new reinforcements to go in and to sort of hold station here until you guys got back.
All right. I'm fine with plugging away too. That's all good. I just didn't want to charge deep into the temple on us.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
All our friends come behind us.
It's that's not a bad thing. This is a Gary Gygax module, so he said, yeah, sure. It's fine if you go over to this room here, because then all these people from these other rooms are going to come in and swarm you from behind.
What are you thinking, Casca?
Do we want to check the room at the end of the hall or not?
I mean, I didn't mean anything big. I mean, it just a quick little hop over here and.
Okay. Well,
you want to make sure that you got your back covered.
Yeah. Okay. So as you head down here, you see that this area here is in fact all clear. Doesn't look like there's been any new activity there. You see that the stairs are still up here, and as you go to the bottom of the stairs and look up, you can still see around the edges of the door at the top, you can still see light. And this was kind of where you understood that the stairway here and its companion stairway on the other side actually went up to the above ground temple complex and would let you go inside that temple. But from going around the outside of that above ground complex that all of the doors there are sealed with those big chains and those magical wards and everything. So you might be able to get into that above ground temple, but once you got into it, you probably can't get out of it unless you're willing to destroy those magical wards, or even if you're capable of destroying them. So then, heading north from here or heading east? Okay, east it looks like.
Wee. Where'd you go? There he is.
We're just like sprinting through here.
Yeah. This area here, you notice that this 20-foot wide corridor here, it slopes down, and there's a it's just like a steady ramp down, and as you look to the north, it does look like there have been some barriers erected, some physical barriers that have been erected, probably relatively recently, and it would take some time with a group your size. It would take maybe a couple of hours to dismantle all of those and take them down. You had seen this area before. There was nothing there. It was just like it's a corridor. It has some lurid paintings on the wall and whatnot. And the supposition that you thought is that this might lead down to a lower level of the temple. But I think everybody had said, yeah, let's concentrate on clearing this level out first before we take on everything else. And now it looks like maybe if there are defenders on the lower level, like they have put a barrier up to try to prevent people from coming in there, or at least coming in there so easily, or being able to come in there quickly. At least without making a lot of noise, so that they would know people are there. Continuing on.
Yeah, I don't think we need to go into the area where the harpies and the undead were.
Yeah, as you get kind of closer to that area, it really stinks. I mean, it stank before, but now
Sounds like Arcturus.
Now it's very ripe. Because apparently they, whoever, all these other soldiers down here, they had no desire to go mess around with the corpses of the ghouls and the harpies. Now you come back up to this next area over here. And you remember that up in this area here is kind of where there were all those gnolls and cultists and things of that nature. Seems very, very quiet now in that area. I mean, you killed some bugbears, you killed some ogres, you killed some gnolls, you recruited some gnolls, and you killed a bunch of cultists up there. So it doesn't look like they have gone back, but it doesn't smell like there's a lot of corpses up there either. So
North or west?
I mean, we didn't explore north, so I would say stick to the areas we've already done.
Okay. Yeah, and as you get up here in areas where there was a lot of fierce fighting, you again notice those streaks where it looks like bodies have been moved and dragged away. And those go for a little bit. And in general, it looks like the direction of the drag marks is to the west.
To the ghouls that we didn't take care of.
So did they feed the ghouls?
That would be my guess.
You did hear from one of your captives that you questioned. You did hear about a cleric that's supposed to be down here that is supposed to have some sort of control over the undead. And you didn't encounter him the last time you were here. It's possible if that person is back or if that person has been replaced that they could have had someone, have the undead go retrieve the corpses and take them back for food to where they live, because it might be that the humans then didn't want to deal with all of the stuff. Also, not a lot of gear or armor or weapons or anything laying around. This place has pretty well been cleaned up, you would imagine, by the defenders, maybe consolidating extra valuables or useful items back into wherever they are currently holed up and defending. And you would notice the same type of thing, not only up here in this area, which, of course, you're getting up here and you haven't gone farther up this way, but also as you go west through these rooms and find some of this. Now, so... You guys thinking of now heading up here into this area that you haven't been to yet?
Yeah, why not?
Could be a good hidey hole for somebody if anybody's still around.
Okay. All right. All right, as you go up this way, you discover, let me see, a place that you haven't been yet. So I need to pull out the Okay, so this is a room with a trapezoidal annex. Looks like you've come into an area where there were a couple of probably officers that bunked in this southern area here, and then in the northern area, which I need to reveal, there are double bunks for several other soldiers. There's also there's some foot lockers by those bunks. There is a basin that has a slow drain at the bottom and has a slow trickle of water that fills up that basin. The water seems to fill in and drain out at about the same rate. And so there's like maybe 6 inches of water in there, and it seems fresh, clean water. So apparently that was a place where they got their water supply. There's a larder over here that's largely been emptied out. Not much of anything useful. The beds have not been made, but they're they seem kind of stripped. These foot lockers are open. There's really nothing useful in there. There's some some torn or ripped clothing that's in there, but it seems like anything that's serviceable has been taken out. Yeah, that's the same condition you find in here where the officers were. There's really nothing of any value left in there. This door here is closed.
Hold on just a second. Well, it's not really listen, it's detect noise. I was going to listen at the door.
Okay. Yeah, so go ahead. You can do that. Yeah, you don't. Your companions are making too much noise, and Desert Wind is over there going.
You jumping out.
You can't hear anything over his breathing and the rummaging around of your companions. They're being relatively quiet, but they're not making a whole lot of noise, but just it's interfering with your ability to hear.
I am going to... Are the hinges on the inside of the door?
Yes, it looks like the door opens in toward you.
Okay, I am going to take a little oil and put on the hinges.
Okay.
And then I'm going to try to open the door like really quiet.
Okay, because you have put oil on those hinges, I will say give yourself a bonus of... let's go ahead and give you a bonus of +2 on your check. Or -2 or whatever is the benefit.
Not my net for rolls.
Okay. Yeah, you do that, but it creaks, and you hear a voice in the hall beyond the door. Who's there? We have movement. We have movement at the door to the east. And then you hear somebody say, there's an authorized movement to the east, in a raised voice. And you hear some other voices responding to that. So do you all want to try to wait to see if somebody comes and investigates, or do you want to try to get the jump on people, or what would you like to do?
I say we back off and wait.
Okay.
And get the gnolls up here.
Yeah. I put everybody down in the room where Archimedes is, so that they're all closer at this point.
I mean, that's fine. We can let them come in. We can always... I just didn't want to get trapped somewhere, but we've got, exit path to the south that goes a couple different ways.
Yeah. So, all right. So, looks like Talon is heading up there. Min, where do you want to be? Okay, right in front of the door so that you're the first person. Okay, not right in front of the door so you're the first person they see. Okay. So, then let's let's see. We'll get some of these other guys out here. Then we'll get some other folks up here to be ready. And then these guys will come up the hall. Okay. And then two of them will come up and they will open the door. And one of them will push in and say, "Who's there?" And let me see, is there... Oh, bo-ba-do-ba-do. What are the general skills? There, that... This guy is kind of on his... Oh, yeah, he doesn't have any kind of thing. All right, so he's looking around. Quint, are you trying to hide or anything? Take advantage of shadows or whatnot?
I was just trying to be around this little corner here.
Okay.
But, I mean, okay. I guess was our plan to ambush him, or were we hiding to... We're just trying to hide so they maybe check it out and then leave.
Well, hide enough to where maybe the two come in and, hopefully more doesn't follow. But if they go to investigate to the south, we could come in behind them.
Yeah, so if Min moves over in the corner, Quint, you could move there.
Okay.
So, yeah, these two guys, they move in. And it's about the time the lead guy gets there that he notices Archimedes down here to the south. And he calls out, "We have an intruder!" And then they raise crossbows at Archimedes. And I guess at that point, that would be about when we would have our initiative. So, you guys can go ahead and roll initiative. You are not surprised. They are not surprised because you were expecting them. They were expecting to find somebody. So it basically all works out. All works out in the wash. So it's going to be... the brigand or the guard is on that. The leader of these people... he is that. Do I have him? Yes, I do have him. All right. And then we need Brother Tuck. We need Knowles. We need... I'm just going to make one roll for Brother Tuck, one roll for the Knowles, and one roll for the mercenaries. Where is the... equipment? No. Where's his... All right, this guy... tracker. It's probably on tracker, isn't it? No. I'm so used to looking at monster character sheets. What tab do you guys go to on your sheets to find your initiative?
It's under the
Weapons.
Weapons. Yes, duh. There we go. So he's got... Yeah. That, and then... Knowles will have a initiative roll there. And then Burrell will roll for the mercenaries. All right. Okay. I think that will do it. And let me get our battle music going. And I will put us in order, ascending order in this round. So, Burrell, actually, fittingly enough, your mercenary is the first one to go. And as you guys recall, this edition, since rounds are a whole minute, unless you want to run a half a mile, you can pretty much move as far as you need to move in a turn. So he will run up here, and then Alcott, his lieutenant, will run up here. And let me do this. Put the dot on them so you know which of these guys are your guys as opposed to which are the enemies. And Burrell, he has now gotten to the point where he can make 2 attacks every 3 rounds. So he makes 2 attacks in his first round with his longsword. It's a +1 longsword. So he'll make his attack. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, he hits. He hits armor class 0, which will, in fact, hit this guy. And he deals 5 damage to him because I hit the wrong button the first time. So that bloodies this guy with his first hit. With his second hit, Burrell will hit an armor class -1, and he deals 5 more damage. So he just outright kills this guy. 2 shots, this guy just goes down like a sack of potatoes, and starts bleeding out. Then Alcott will attack. Will attack the fellow. That's here, and Alcott will. He gets 1 attack. He also hits an armor class -1. And he is attacking with his longsword because he's attacking melee, and he deals 1 damage. And so that guy is not bloodied. And he says, "Oh, we're under attack in here," this defender says. The first one lets out a Wilhelm scream as he dies. And Talon, you are up. So this door is open. You can hear the sound of other people out in the hall behind them. This is not going to be a quiet fight, but at least it's starting off well. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm going to, since it's noisy, I'm going to sneak up behind this guy and attack him in the backside.
Okay. Make a sneak attack. Armor class of 12.
Not so good.
No, unfortunately, that's not going to. That's not going to.
And I will back up.
Okay.
And I'll let Desert Wind come in and hit the guy. Hopefully. Maybe he'll do better than I did.
Armor class of 6. That will hit.
Oh, he did better than I did.
Ooh, 5 damage. He just reaches up and he bites the guy like the guy's leather armor has kind of pulled up. Desert Wind just reaches right in, bites the guy on his side, and pulls out a big chunk of flesh. And as he does, you see he also pulls out one of the guy's kidneys. And this guy just is dead. He gives another scream and he falls down on the floor dead. And then
dog.
Desert Wind just roof, barks at the body after it falls, and then trots
You
back
fall
over.
so easily.
Trots back over to Talon looking for some scritches.
Oh, I scratch him behind the ear. Good dog.
Okay. All right, then Brother Tuck will move up. Brother Tuck will get to this area now. He can see Archimedes. He can see Talon and Desert Wind. Actually, I guess he can get to a point where he can see all of you guys that are here. And then let me see you, because he's got some clerical spells that he could do. So he I want to put the spell effects to make sure that how many people this is going to affect. Okay, raises the morale of friendly creatures and any saving throws and make it blessing effects. In what range up to 60 yards he will cast a spell, and it affects all creatures in a 50-foot cube centered on the point selected. Okay. So that is so he'll just do 50 feet from himself. So let's say, oh yeah, that's definitely going to get you guys. Will it? No. Okay. So everybody that is in here, all the allies that are in here, you get the benefits of the bless. So that's Min, that's Quint, Desert Wind's an ally, so it's Desert Wind, it's Talon. I gotta double check in this addition if you can bless yourself. If you are included in the bless, or if it's just other people. And Archimedes. And since it's all creatures, I'm gonna guess it's gonna be himself too.
I would assume if it excluded the caster, it would say so.
It would say so. And then he says, "Oh, good luck, my friends." And he runs back here and gets behind Archimedes. Because he doesn't want to be the first target that they all have. All right, that's his turn. The enemies. All right, these enemy guards. They come boiling into the room, and there are a number of them. So we're gonna put, we'll say one will come in here, one will come in here. I take these two guys, move them off to the side for the moment because they can't do anything. And these guys, and then yeah, they'll come in here, and then you see coming out into the hallway, but not yet engaging. You'll see 3 more, and you'll see a leader type. So, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys that have entered the room there, they are going to make some attacks. Talon, you have your elven cloak on?
I do.
Okay. So I think that with all the chaos and everything, the first thing that these guys are going to notice, they're going to notice Desert Wind. And they're then going to notice Quint over here. So they will, one will attack Desert Wind and one will attack Quint. So Quint, here's the guy that's attacking you.
All
right. He hits an armor class 8. That probably is going to miss.
Yep.
Then the guy attacking Desert Wind also hits an armor class 8.
That misses.
Okay. Then two of them will go after Burrell. 2 of them will go after Alcott. So for Burrell, they need an armor class of 0. That's a miss. That's a miss. And then for Alcott, they need an 8. That's a miss. And that's a miss. Golly. These guys don't swing their swords very well. And for this round, that is them. All right. Quint, you are up.
Well, since I got somebody right in front of me, I guess I'll take a couple of swings at them.
Oh, yeah, that's going to hit. Oh, my goodness. 23 damage.
Wow, how's that? Oh, yeah, because I'm adding 8 for my Belt of Giant Strength.
Oh!
16, though.
Okay.
I don't know where that 16 came from.
Wait, does the belt of giant strength, does that double the damage that you do with weapons?
Not that I remember reading. It was with the stone giant one I have. It was +3 to hit, which.
Let me.
Well, then I had the bless too.
Let's see. Belt of giant. Oops.
I didn't read that it did. Well, I don't have belt of giant strength on my character sheet anywhere. I just adjusted my strength to what it would be with the belt on.
Okay, so let's see. Giant. Stone giant.
Yeah, because it updated those numbers automatically.
Yeah. Belt. Okay. Belt. Okay. So, imbued with very powerful magic, when worn, it increases physical power. Determine how strong. Strength is not. Okay, girdle of giant strength. And we said it was a stone giant.
Stone giant, yeah.
Okay, so strength rating is 20. Bonuses to hit is +3. Bonus to damage is +8. Yeah, okay. Doesn't say anything about I know that in some of the editions of D&D, when like you have a giant sized weapon, it like doubles the dice of the weapon. And I was wondering if in this edition the giant strength did something like that, where it doubles the amount of damage the weapon does.
Let me try the damage one again. Maybe I accidentally hit the critical button, which maybe doubled it.
Okay.
Maybe I did. If I did that by
1d8 plus 16.
No, it still did the 16. I don't know where it's pulling that number on my sheet. Damage adjustment says 8.
Okay. I don't know where it's getting that either. Okay, so we'll just take 8 off of that. So instead of 23, 7 and 8, that's 15 damage. Well, 15 is enough to. How would you like to kill this guy?
That was just a deep slash across his chest, since that was my slashing weapon.
Okay. He screams and cries out and falls down. A bunch of blood starts to spill out on the floor, and Desert Wind just bends his head down and starts lapping it up.
And then can I take a step here and use my second attack for the other
Sure.
guy then?
Sure you can.
And so make sure I hit the right buttons here.
AC 7, that'll do it.
Okay.
And then we'll do damage, and we'll just remember to take 8 off of the damage.
Let me see if the short sword does different than the long sword. Nope, that did 16 too.
Yeah, so 1 and 8 is 9. And that's still enough to kill him. So how do you kill him?
That was a piercing weapon, so that'll just be like straight through the rib cage.
Okay. And he screams and cries out, and he falls down. So
I'll poke around in my sheet, see if I can find why it's pulling that extra 8.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Archimedes. You are up. What would you like to do?
I will send 2 flying arrows towards the guy that's straight across from me. Not my guy, but the other guy. And we get the +1.
Yes, you get the +1 from the bless. Armor class of 6. Yes, 6 will hit, and I'm just presuming you're hitting the one that's closest to you.
Yeah, the one that's, like I said, that was right in front of me. This guy there.
Okay. I was looking at Discord when you were explaining that.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's only one. Yeah.
Or Marcel's not going to be able to join us tonight, after all.
Yeah, he's having internet problems. Yeah. So that's the guy I'm gonna hit right there.
Okay, so you can roll some damage for him. Two. Okay, so
Graze him on the head.
yeah, but I think
And
you get a
then-
second shot, don't you?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, you hit him again. So see what
Work.
damage you can do this time.
Nice.
7. That will do it. So how do you like to kill this guy?
Yeah. One goes by the ear, and the other goes right into the throat.
Ugh. And shaft of the arrow pokes out the other side, and he drops his weapon and reaches up and clutches at his throat and falls down, and the guy behind him goes, ah! All right. Min, you are up. There were some targets right there, but now they appear to be gone. But oh yes,
Okay.
you step over there. There's now some
Yep.
targets.
It makes a nice and squishy, soft place to stand.
Yes, yes, it does.
And so I hold up my javelin of lightning and say, "Power on."
Okay, now you remember that shoots out a bolt, right? So, do you want to shoot out a bolt that how? Wait.
It says here,
Oh, wait. No, I'm confusing your weapon here and your staff on Sunday, I think.
yes.
So, yeah. Remind me what
So-
it says it does.
Basically, it just says if thrown without being activated, it wobbles in the air and fails to strike. When you activate the javelin, you command makes the carvings crackle electricity. You can hurl the javelin; it shatters immediately after leaving your hand and unleashes its magic as a 4th level lightning bolt originating from your space. The bolt deals 5d12 electricity damage and has a reflex save DC of 25.
Okay, so yes, it will do the lightning bolt spell, and the oh wait, now that doesn't sound right because reflex save, that sounds like 3rd edition or 4th edition.
And I looked for it. It said it was. I looked for 2E javelin of like just
Now let's
javelin of lightning.
Yeah, so let's do this.
Core rulebook page.
Javelin of
5,
lightning.
that one.
Okay. Considered equal to a +2 magical weapon, has neither attack nor damage bonuses, range of 90 yards, and whenever it strikes, the javelin becomes the head of a 5-foot wide, 30-foot long stroke of lightning.
Oh, okay.
Here, I'm gonna
You
put
got a
it
link?
in. No, but I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put it in 2 places. There. And then I'm going to put it over here so you can add this information to your character sheet. That is straight out of the 2E DMG.
Okay.
So, range of 90 yards, it becomes the head of a 5-foot wide, 30-foot long. So, if it will, I'm going to let you choose. When it hits, it creates a 30-foot long bolt of lightning. Now, you can either let that bolt of lightning go out in front of you, or in front of the javelin, or behind the javelin. But if you have it go behind the javelin and you haven't thrown it 30 feet, well, it's coming right back at you. If you have allies that are in the path, it is going to extend out and potentially hit your allies. So you need to make sure when you
Now,
use this, you use it in a
I-
way that...
When I'm moving, can I move past these guys without attacks of opportunity, or do I have to have... Do they get attacks of opportunity? If I want to move out here, I'm going to have to come out here and at least go past these two guys.
Yeah, what's your speed?
This character sheet with a passion. Can never find anything that I need. Where do I find speed?
Oh, should somebody let her know?
Oh,
Info and then tracker.
Info and then tracker. So these guys have a speed of 12, which is 120. If you have a speed that is slower than 12, then they would get opportunity attacks against you.
hang on.
You are not wearing any armor, so
No,
you might...
it doesn't say speed anywhere.
Okay, let's
Roll all the way down.
Go to your movement. Yeah, scroll down to
all the way
movement,
down.
and it should be on
Okay.
basic.
12? Run speed 360. How do you read?
Yeah. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, movement. So yeah, your speed is 12. Your base speed is 12, so it's the same. That's so yeah, you can you can come out here and not get a opportunity attack against you.
Okay.
Now, if you go there, you can hit one guy. If you move up farther, you could potentially hit two guys with that lightning.
Okay.
So yeah, so go ahead and on your character sheet, click the THACO, see what armor class you hit, and next to your javelin, and we will see if you connect. Oh, yes, you do. All right. So then what did we say in Discord was the damage of that?
1d6 points of damage plus 20 points of electrical damage.
Okay.
Any other creatures in the path of the stroke take either 10 or 20 points of damage based on whether their saving throws are successful or not.
Okay. Well, then you don't even have to roll because how does it look like when both of these guys get fried by electricity?
Basically, they light up and it's like looking at their skeleton from the inside.
Okay. They just both
Fall over with smoke coming out of their mouth.
yeah. They both fall over with smoke coming out of their mouth. And the smell of ozone in the air and just a rumble of magical thunder just echoes throughout.
A boom.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, pretty much.
You can move back if you want to.
Back to where I was.
Yep.
Okay. Whoop, sorry. Bonk. Meow.
All right. And
she's
then
hanging on to the javelin like.
yeah. Your Knoll allies will run up. I guess what we will say is we will say that Arcturus is just still suffering from sickness. So I'll eventually take him off of the map.
As a joke, we kind of laid the bane all the way around him so he can't move while he was sleeping.
Your the Knoll leader Errol comes up, and he is the one that one of the Knolls that can speak common, and he looks at all of the carnage there, and he comes up this big 7-foot tall Knoll, a big fangly smile right in the face of this guy, and he says, "You want to be deader, or you want to live?" And he just stands there very intimidating with his weapon. And his two Knoll allies behind him, they come up and their tongues are just lolling out. And they're just kind of looking at these guards and just sort of drooling. And these guards are, well, they're going to have to see when their turns come what they think about that. Because a bunch of their friends have died, and they are now being confronted by hideous monsters. There's also people shooting lightning off, all that kind of fun stuff. And it is the lieutenant's turn. And the lieutenant says, he just says, All right, that's it. They're not paying me enough.
You want to join us.
Whoever's in charge, quit killing my men. We'll surrender.
You know you want to join us.
And
we have benefits.
He says, "Huh?
Dental.
We're giving them benefits.
What? Everybody else gets them.
It costs money.
It does? I thought the benefits were like, you don't die. You get paid. You get a nice place to sleep.
So the rest of the guys, they all just sort of, the ones in front of the Knolls, they keep their weapons out, but they definitely take on a defensive instead of an offensive posture. The rest of them that are still up, they will take their weapons and put them down on the ground.
Tell them to leave this place.
Burrell says, "Smart idea, friends."
Kept their weapons up, or
yeah, this guy keeps his weapon up, but in a.
But he's
defensive,
confronted by a, yeah.
This guy here puts his weapon down. I guess this guy would keep his weapon out and defensive. These two guys over here, they both place their weapons on the ground as well.
Well, get in here if you're surrendering.
And they will go ahead and move up. the guard will let the lieutenant come in. He says, "Oh,
I'll
and
have the
then
Knolls put the bodies in that bunker room.
okay." So they will begin to move the bodies over here.
Take what parts they need.
Yeah. They'll kind of convert that. They'll convert that big table. Yeah, man. That's quickly filling up with corpses in there.
Oh. Sorry.
2 of them are cooked.
Yeah, two
Yeah.
of two.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 of them are well done. And they look at Min and they say, "No cook meat."
Wee! I didn't do it on purpose.
You burnt it.
And
Flash burned it. You need to slow cook them.
and then 2 of the gnolls will push past over here, and they will start to make a very noisy and sort of gruesome display of starting to dismember the corpses of these guys. Just sort of like to and
Extra
Eric-
intimidation.
yeah. And Errol just says, "Oh, you would have been good dinner, but your friends will do." And these guys are like, "Oh, crap."
Turn away, gentlemen. Turn away.
And
Don't look.
um,
You will be okay.
and the lieutenant says, "All right, so we surrender. What do you want? Are
So,
you hiring or
Min whips out a contract that she wrote while we were having downtime, and she begins to read, the party of the first party, that's me, and or us, should I say, and agrees to do XYZ, and the party of the second party, that's you, does XYZ, agrees to do XYZ, this, that, and it all kind of sounds real official and everything. And then when she gets done, unrolling this scroll, she produces a feather quill and a little tiny bottle of ink and sets it down and goes, "Okay, guys, here, sign."
And just what has been the standard that we agreed, you guys? If you're hiring, and I guess as a party, do you guys want to hire these guys? Do you guys want to just tell them skedaddle and get out and don't come back? What's the play here? You want to find out what they know?
Well, if they
I'd like to find out numbers.
Yeah. So, if they join us and they can give us information, then the contract says they get a little additional percentage of the looting first time round. And then after that, they have a standard percentage of loot that they get, whenever they go on campaign with us and help. Or if we get back to town and they decide that they don't want to continue working for us, well, then part of the contract says that they won't impede us or, do anything to cause us issues or whatever, and they'll go about their merry way and call it good. But if they renege on their agreement, then, well, there's heavy consequences.
Wait. So I'm signing a non-compete clause after I am not employed by you guys anymore. How long is that non-compete for?
3 years.
For
It's a
at least
standard
a full
3
year.
years.
3 years or 2 years?
3 years is usually standard.
Okay.
Jason, do these guys need to go to Greyhawk and serve under the thing since we owe them like 15%, 14.99%?
I think
For
so.
what?
Well, we'll just have to split the numbers by however many recruits we get. But for now, they'll have to go to the safe house and be watched over
Well, yeah, of course.
until they can go back to the moat house for basic training and
It deals that
indoctrination.
right here. It says that right here, guys. So I think I've got
But-
everything covered.
We decided last game that we would divide treasure but 7 ways.
Oh, that was you. All right. Yeah.
And 1/7 of the treasure is used to pay our men and to keep upkeep on the moat house and stuff like that.
Yeah, and 1/7 of the treasure is
Going
talking
to
about
the
with Greyhawk.
Greyhawk.
Yeah, because
Yeah, goes back to Greyhawk.
when the king of Greyhawk sent soldiers, he said, "All right, I want a cut of what you guys haul out of that temple."
So the
So-
treasure's not what's going to be in their service is what's going to go over there. So that's what we got to send them, like 1/7. So every 7 guy has to go. That one guy, that 7th guy, he's got to go off to Greyhawk
It's
and
like,
serve his time over there.
it's like
That's part of treasure.
the lieutenant is like, he's like looking over all of this. He says, "So, wait, you have basic training? Are you all a mercenary company?" And Burrell chuckles and says, "Huh, they might as well be. They're raising a pretty good army of humans and gnolls here. And the nice thing about it is that the gnolls, they kind of help with the cleanup after the battle because not many of the enemies go to waste, if you know what I mean." Ha 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 ha.
They are
And,
quite tasty.
yeah, and he just looks at you and kind of your comment that kind of freaks him out more than
Well, and
the
so
fact that
Min still
Knowles-
holds out the contract or the pin to the contract and is like, "Well, but if you sign this, he won't eat you if he gets mad. Because you'd be working for, well, us and the kingdom."
and he looks at his men and he says, "I think this is the best offer we're gonna get." And they're like, yeah
Well, at least this way you get to take home a little bit and you get decent quarters. You got to do a little servitude, a little work, but, we all do. It's not like we're all sitting around here on our laurels just waiting for people to wait on us,
Okay. All right. So they each that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 more guys that sign with you. And now, has the customary thing been that they get a gold piece when they sign on, or
I believe so.
Yes.
all right, so they sign and then you start handing them gold and they're like, "Wait, we get paid right away?"
Well, yeah, that's
And-
your sign-on bonus.
And the lieutenant says, "Those cult bastards, those tight-fisted jerks. Oh my god. They threatened us with being in an ogre's cookpot. And then they only paid us a silver piece or they would pay me a gold piece a month, but they only paid the men a silver piece a month. And kept threatening them with..."
You got any buddies you want to go recruit?
Well, that big fight against all the forces from Greyhawk wiped out. Now, wait a minute. Some of you guys look familiar. You were the ones that were down here and
Maybe.
killed a bunch of our guys before, weren't you?
We also recruited a bunch of your gnolls.
Oh my. Well, okay, I can see why now. And Earl says, "Yes, they pay well, and they let us eat." And Lieutenant,
As he smacks his lips.
yeah. Lieutenant is like, all right. Whew, this has been a strange day. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing for free.
Mm.
Yeah, there's a guy that's going to be waiting on a report from me in a few minutes, and when I don't report, he's gonna get suspicious. That's Romag the cleric.
Well, you know, for an extra gold, you could go and lie to him. Deliver your report, but tell him wrong information.
What should I tell him then?
Well, I don't know. What were you going to report?
Well, now that I'm working for you, I was gonna just tell you where that guy was so you could go zap him with your
Oh, well,
lightning or whatever.
That's cool. I can do that too.
Yeah, he is one of those bastards that's in charge of the cult. He also controls the ghouls on the western end of this level.
Mm.
So if you get rid of him, the ghouls won't have any master. Now, of course, the ghouls are going to try to kill you anyway if you go and mess with them. But at least they won't have anybody that has any sort of magical control over them. If you deal with Romag.
Is he alone, or is he like surrounded by guards and such, and ghouls as guards?
He used to have guards until you guys came in here the first time, and then the soldiers from Greyhawk were here along with those wizards. But his second in command, I think you guys killed his second in command, another cleric named Harch. And then his bodyguards were all killed in that battle against the soldiers from Greyhawk when those wizards were here. And he wanted to send us up there. He told me to divide my men and send some people up and leave some people here. That coward wouldn't even go and take a look at what was going on in that battle.
Sounds like a plan. So he doesn't have any guards. He's all by his little lonesome.
Now, the one thing he might do, he might try to run to the temple. And if he gets as far as the temple, he can call on the earth elementals that are in the temple.
Can we block his way to the temple before we confront him?
Not from here, no. He's got to escape to the north. I don't.
Did you get him to come this way? Did you go get him and bring him back?
Okay, what would I tell him?
Tell him that you killed some intruders and there's some religious artifact that you're afraid to touch and you want him to look at.
Oh.
Strange glowing artifact. Don't even have to be a religious, just
oh, yeah.
Looks religious or something, but you're not sure. But it's glowing and making funny noises.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that. All right. Hey, I'll show you where I'm going to bring him. And moves over here, and he gets by this door, and he says, I've got to go up north in here, go through several chambers. I'll bring him back down. You guys decide how you want to do that. And men, whatever that Burrell tells you to do, you guys just follow his lead. We'll, I guess, we'll be under Burrell. We'll put ourselves under your company for now, as long as you're reporting to these guys. And Burrell says, "All right, sounds good to me. I think you're gonna you'll make a good addition. You'll probably be a squad leader of yourself in no time." Lieutenant says,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay, that sounds pretty good." And players, what we're going to do, since we are a little bit past the top of the hour, we're going to go ahead and take our break now. And during the break, you guys can decide how you want to get ready for when this cleric comes, and how you want yourselves, your gnolls, your retainers to be deployed. And then we will get into that battle. All right. Viewers, thank you guys so much for joining us this evening. We're going to take our break now. I am going to put this up here. I'm going to bring us back to our break music. And I will... so we'll have our musicians here. And I'm going to mute players. You can either stay here and chat with the viewers, or you can move to the off-stream chat if you want to confer in private. And, like I said, I'm muting myself.
What's the plan, Casca?
Kill them all. Ask questions later.
Well, we need to kind of hide in these hallways and maybe put some over here. You know, like in this area, and obviously, so we can just kind of come out and storm him.
Yeah, so are we going to get him back into this room?
Well, I think he's going to bring him out here. So he'll be coming from this direction. And I'm thinking that if... It's too bad Min doesn't have a darkness spell. Or a... Actually, what would be best is a silence spell on him.
That's something that I was thinking about. We need to try to get a hold of is silence. That way you can even cast it when we're trying to battle something, so we're not noisy.
Well, that was kind of my thing, because if she casts a silence, then he can't cast spells.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to keep him from doing, is actually running and getting to his deal. That's why I was hoping to get him here, so if he does run, or even here, so that if he does run and we're in these three spots, he has to run out and away from the temple.
He'll be coming through here. So we need to get to where we can cut him off once he gets out over here.
Yeah, so we need him over here. Yeah, we need him over here. At least. That's why I'm saying, like, is he going to try to get him into this room, or at least get him to here so that we can be behind him by the time he gets over there?
Well, I think he's going to try to get him in this room.
Okay.
So okay, and the other question is, I think we're gonna have to build a brothel at the moat house.
That's fine.
So we'll
I second the motion.
create some of the for paying.
I gotta have somewhere to
brothel
play my,
slash
my
bar,
music.
that was-
Yeah, I gotta have somewhere to play my music.
Well,
so.
yeah, but so we give them a place to spend their money.
Yeah.
Any travelers that come by to spend their money, we may actually turn a profit.
There's always profit in listening to music.
Yeah, that's why we'll make money.
But who's gonna be where?
Well, me and Desert Wind will be over here.
Okay, I say we stick because the new recruits, I say we just kind of line the walls.
Well, the new recruits need to be seen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Our
They
guys
just need to line the
yeah.
walls.
Yeah.
And if he's gonna come through here, as soon
think
as he
we've-
comes through there, then
We've only
I'll pop
got-
out of here.
4 here plus him's 5, so
Because we just don't want to have what we had at what was that? Under the keep, under the moat house, where the guy got away. He cast darkness
Yeah.
and he got away.
yeah, we don't want that. But he, well, there was also the guy who tried to get away and he cast darkness, but it didn't work.
Yeah. Well, he ended up going into a dead end area, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as long as we get him to go out and not further in, then we're good. Because if he tries to go out, he's got the gnolls and the other people from, or no, just us, just our gnolls and everything else. So, or did we leave henchmen out there too? I think we didn't we?
No, we just left Knowles up top.
Gnolls? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, 5 Knowles at the tower, 5 Knowles at the safe house.
There you go.
Okay, we've got a couple of minutes left in the break. Where do you want me to start moving the other tokens?
Well, normally where they would be stationed out and pretty much in the hallways.
So like the new recruits, like one here, one there, one back here.
Okay. So those are your new recruits. And where do you want your gnolls and
We want the
your
Knowles
mercenaries?
kind of hidden, so they won't be obvious.
Okay.
So I don't know if you all want them to come pouring out of this room.
We're out of here.
A couple of gnolls will go down into this hallway. They'll just sort of wait down here. They'll kind of be hidden from view when somebody comes out of here. Or they could actually go up here with Talon. That might be better from the angles.
Do we still have the artifact? Or did we leave it at
Oh no,
the moat house?
That's back. I think that's back in Hamlet, but
Yeah, okay.
but you guys, you just told him to say that.
No, yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
hoping.
Oh, what about Burrell and Alcott? Where do you want them?
Well, I imagine Burrell and Alcott could actually blend in and maybe be down here.
Okay, they could be down here. They're
Yeah.
not going to look exactly like because they don't have the same uniform. But
Well,
They
we
can-
could take the
can
cloaks
kinda
off
be
the
in-
dead guys.
oh yeah, they could do that. They'll throw some cloaks on the dead guys on. Okay, so Archimedes and Quint on one end of the hall. Talon and Desert Wind up top with two gnolls. Your mercenaries down south there. Errolk over here ready to pop out. Kind of also nearby where Min is. Sort of acting as potentially guard for her. You're ready to go and get back to it then?
Yep.
All right. Well, let me move our soundscape back to the.
So is everything going to happen when he approaches to here? Then that's when we're going to start everything.
Well, the lieutenant
Is that the
says
plan?
he will bring the cleric out here. So, I mean, that's where you're expecting him to come.
Yeah, and we need to get the cleric over to here so he has no place to run.
Okay. So
He's got to
You
say
guys-
that artifact is in this room, and he doesn't want to touch it.
okay. Yeah, there's definitely pools of blood in there. So it definitely looks like there was a fight in there.
Okay.
And yeah. All right. So that will that should work for your purposes. Okay. Well, let us do this, and we're gonna do that. That just all blends down there, and then this guy. I want to see what. Okay.
What
So-
was the spell you were hoping that I knew?
Silence would be nice.
Silence. Yeah.
And the sound of silence. Well, let's see here. Do.
Okay.
Stands in lights and large.
All right. So the lieutenant.
It is not a spell that I have access to yet. Sorry.
This is call the new guy Lieutenant Silas. Yeah. Let me do that, Lieutenant Silas. All right. He disappears up here, and he's gone for a minute. Then he's gone for a second minute. And you can see this guy, he kind of is nervously looking up. But then after looking into that doorway, but then after a bit, he relaxes a little bit. And you can hear a voice. It's not the voice of Lieutenant Silas. It's a different voice. You can hear somebody saying, "Well, by her highness, it's about time somebody came up with some good news. We've had nothing but setbacks these last months. Beginning to think that this cause here was lost. But it's exciting that you've been able to stop an incursion and find it. Now, where did you say this is?" And he points to the end of the hall. He says, "It's right up there, Mag." And so Errol is kind of here, hidden out of the way. And Romag steps through and says, "Oh, lots of blood up there." And then he walks by and he claps this guy on the shoulder. He says, good job. And then he walks in and he expects to find something. And it's about that time that he realizes that Lieutenant Silas hasn't moved any farther up than that. And he says, "Well, I don't see anything in here except one of our gnolls." And he looks over and at Errol and he says, "Who are you?" And Errol says, "Your dinner." And Romac says, "What?" And
We pounce.
he starts to pull out his weapon, as though he is going to, and pull up his holy symbol, as though he's either going to cast a clerical spell or make an attack. So we can go ahead and we can get set up for another fight.
So where is this guy at?
He's right
Sorry.
here.
Oh,
Right in front of you.
Yeah, he was right in front of you until you moved,
Alright.
but all right. So let's go ahead and get him on the board. I have him. Yes, I have him selected. Ugh. Okay, of course, he goes very, very late. And he goes there, and another tuck. Bill. Go weapons. He will there. Bill. He will make the initiative roll for all of the mercenaries now. Okay. All right. And it looks like we have Talon, Quint, Archimedes, Min. Looks like we have all of the monsters and NPCs. So then we'll put that in ascending order. And then we will go to this. And we will bring up the sounds of battle. Okay. All right. So the first thing that happens is Quint. You are able
Brings into action.
What would you like to do?
Well, I'll come over here. I think I'm gonna kind of realize we left Brother Tuck down there by himself.
yeah, he's fine.
Hey, should be good.
Oh wait, how long does Bless last in this? You keep going. I'll figure out whether Bless is still running or not.
That's fine. I was going to come through here. I was going to take a whack at this guy and then move down to try and cover Brother Tuck.
Okay. Mm,
6 rounds.
6 rounds. So 6 minutes. Yeah. Okay. I'll say this is. Actually, it's probably worn off by now because of all the stuff. So we'll just take that.
Through the chit chat and the surrender.
Yeah. Contracts and everything else.
Somebody had to read the fine print. Nice going, men.
Well, he did have questions about, some of those benefits. So, Jason,
Right,
whenever you can go ahead.
All right, I'm right there by him. I'll take. I was just waiting to make sure about Bless.
AC7. Let me see. AC7 is not going to hit. This guy has some pretty good armor on.
All right,
got
try my second one here. Oh, that was worse. So
No.
it was just a kind of a run by, swing and a miss, and
Yeah.
I kind of just came there to be in the way, so Brother Tuck's not the next target.
All right. And he looks. He says, "I've been betrayed." And he looks back at Silas. He says, "I'll have your head for this."
Not if
And
we have yours first.
yeah, Silas opens his mouth, but Min beats him to it. Talon, you are up.
Alan, Desert Wind are going to move in and try to attack this guy. Ugh.
Ugh.
Alan did not.
Yeah,
better.
that's a little better, but not good enough. His teeth sort of clatter off of the metal armor of this guy.
Yeah, we'll move down here with Quint to
Okay.
leave it open for Min to do her thing.
Okay. Min,
Yes.
you are up. What would you like to do?
I move down here. And I kind of tap the javelin of lightning on the floor and go. I just about said flame on, but that's not quite right. Okay, turn on and roll to hit.
Now, this is the second time this battle you've used it, and you've used it one time before, haven't you?
She has.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Armor class 3. All right. Oh, man. Kind of feels like. Yeah, that's going to miss. That's going to miss.
Bless.
What is it? Well, no, the bless is gone. So,
No, I said God bless.
and something happens. That the bolt of lightning goes off, and the javelin cracks.
What is
And
what does the +2 of a +2 magical weapon do?
That gives you a +2 on your armor class roll. If you didn't figure that in, then that would mean that you hit an armor class 1 instead of an armor class 3.
I didn't figure it in. I just rolled for javelin.
Okay, then if that's not built in, yeah, the one would still miss. So like I said, this guy
Wow.
has good armor class. So the javelin cracks and falls into two pieces, and now both of those pieces are smoldering. And you think that weapon is no good anymore, because in this edition of the game, certain magical weapons have a limited number of uses, and the javelin of lightning is one of them. So
So much for that.
yeah, so
Now, does he get hit by the byproduct?
no, it's just either he gets hit or he doesn't, unfortunately. So then Burrell and the mercenaries. So Burrell is going to run up here with Alcott. Lieutenant Silas is going to run up, and this guard is going to run up, and then this guard will run up, and they are all going to they're all going to go ahead and attack. So Burrell. Oh, he hits with an armor class -1. So he deals 4 damage. Which this guy seems pretty tough, so that hurts him, but it doesn't do anything. Then the lieutenant, he will make his attack. And misses, armor class 16. Then the 2 brigands will make their attacks. That's a miss. That's a miss. And then Alcott will make his attack. That's a miss. Jeez. Okay. So then Brother Tuck will step up, and Brother Tuck looks over at him, and now he has cast his bless. He will then go here, and he will what does he have ready? He will then just he will then go out and he will attempt to hit the guy with a silence 15-foot radius. Okay. Unwilling creature receives a saving throw against spells. So whoops. Romag gets to make a saving throw against spells. And oh, he fails. So Romag is caught in
Nice.
silence. And we'll say that I guess it's pretty much I just want to see. Yeah, so Desert Wind and Quint and Talon you guys are also in that effect. If you want to make saving throws, you can. Otherwise, if you want to cast spells on your turn, you can just back out of the silence area and do that. So I'll let you decide whether you want to try to save or just do that. For the gnolls and the mercenaries, they get a little weirded out that everything goes quiet, but they see Brother Tuck smiling at them, and they say, "Oh, must be something he did." So, all right, hearing nothing, we'll go ahead and move on to Archimedes. Archimedes, what would you like to do?
We're gonna get over there and throw a couple of shots at him, just for austerity.
Okay. Want to do. That is the radius around the guy. That's the silence. The 13. Oh, the -1 will hit and deals 5 more damage. Okay. So he looks like he cries out, but of course you don't hear anything. Oops.
It's like a Charlie Chaplin movie. Nice.
Alright, so he's not quite bloodied. And then Romag. He looks very perturbed.
Oh.
Alright, so I think this spell requires a saving throw. So priest, or requires a component of wait, okay, verbal, yes. So he cannot cast his darkness spell. He instead just gets this look of anger, and he takes his mace and he tries to whack at the lieutenant who has deceived him. And he hits an armor class 5, which will miss. And he just, he's very angry.
You won't
And
like me.
he is, his mouth is just going. You guys can see he's just probably laying all kinds of invectives and curses at this guy. But of course, you can't hear him.
Is he foaming?
No, he's not foaming. Errol will slip in here, go into his ally's space to attack, and then come back. And he will make an attack against this guy and miss. Quint, you are up. Okay, there's one enemy, but now he's surrounded and he's silenced. I'm going to say you have to move 1 square if you're going to use any kind of spells or do anything that requires verbal.
Yeah, I think I don't really have a spot to get into that guy. I'm gonna move here out of the silence area and just keep an eye to the corridor to the south, just to make sure that he doesn't have any friends that might come wandering around.
Okay.
I think he's pretty well surrounded, so we'll let them hack him to pieces, and just
Okay.
if he gets away, I'm here to hopefully block that exit.
All right. And Talon, of course, you can move into an ally space to make an attack. But
Yeah, that's what
and
I'm gonna do is move in and swing at him. Armor class 0.
That's
Nice.
exactly what you need to hit this guy. It's armor class 0.
Okay.
Nice.
He's wearing chainmail. He's got a shield. 5 damage. Okay.
And see if Desert Wind can do anything. Let him move in and
Okay.
snap
his
at him.
heels.
Yeah. Nope.
Nope. And you notice, Talon, when you're up and close to this guy, his chainmail looks very shiny indeed. Oh. All right. And that's it for Desert Wind and Talon.
Yep, that's it for us. We're gonna basically go
Alright.
back to where we were.
Okay. Do you need to get out of the silence for any reason, or are you good there?
No, I'm happy in the silence.
Okay. You can't hear the rest of your companions talking. Hey, this is great. All right, Min, you are up.
Okay. So,
Now, if you have something that will target a single enemy, you can use that in terms of a spell. If you have anything that's an area of an effect, then obviously you would nail your target and potentially some of your allies as well.
do. I hate it when I can't see half of the spell thing all at once. Okay. You know what? I do not.
Okay, you don't have like magic missile or anything that is a single target.
I only have access to the spells that we've found, correct?
You have access to the spells that you had before, and then you've been able to add any of the spells that you found from spell books. I don't know whether you ever had magic missile before.
Mm-mm.
Okay. And if it wasn't in those spell books, then no, you wouldn't have it. But
See here. Nope, pretty much no.
all right.
So I think I'm
Got
just
your
gonna.
sling. Got your sling. You've got some other things.
Yeah, but somebody's in front of him. So
It would be a minus to the attack roll, but you could still do it without endangering your allies.
You could move in and stab with your mundane javelin.
yeah. But everybody's in my way.
You can move
Yeah,
into
You can go into an ally space and attack, and then come back
All right.
out. Now, I do see whether you've decided to. Well, okay, but the guy has to hear you, so it doesn't work. Never mind.
Nope.
All right. Yeah, AC 4. Unfortunately, he's got that nice armor. All right, so now it comes to the mercenaries, and they are going to make their attacks again. That's a miss. And Lieutenant misses. Then the guards, they are going to attack and attack. And I think, yeah, attack. Yeah, 3 of those guys get to attack. That's a miss, and then you're the guy. That's a miss. Yeah. Okay. So misses all around. Oh, and this is the round that Burrell gets his second attack. So go ahead and let him have his second attack. Yep, that misses too. All right, Brother Tuck. Brother Tuck just kind of clucks his tongue and looks over at Quint and says, "He should have given up. Sadly, he appears to be lost." And so he will then yeah, he just will hang out there. He's not gonna do anything. So Archimedes, you're up.
All right. We'll go ahead and keep giving the pepper to him. Where's it at? Right here. Okay.
Oh, yes. That will hit. Three.
Done pretty good. Done pretty good. Here, one more. Nope.
Nope. All right. All right. Well, your arrow bloodies him.
Oh, nice.
And so then he has to make a check. What is his check? Okay. So I have to go over here. I have to do this.
Great. We cannot hear his screams of mercy.
All right. He is bleeding from several wounds. He is very mad. He cannot use any spells. He just takes his mace and he just throws his mace and throws his shield to the ground. And then he just looks at Silas defiantly, almost daring him to attack him unarmed. And so it looks like he has surrendered. Obviously, he can't say anything. You can't hear anything because he's in silent spell, but he has thrown down his weapons. So, Lieutenant Silas, he just sort of looks over at Burrell with a question, and Burrell kind of looks over at Talon and Quint with a question.
Talon just says, makes the motion to hit him.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, well, and Errolk will then just sort of grab this guy, move him out of the way, and go up there, and he will gladly.
There you go.
He will gladly go to town on this guy. So just make a ravenous attack against him. And that misses. Okay, and now this priest is looking a little shocked because he's just dropped his arms, but now you guys are still attacking him. So Quint, you are up first. It's up to you whether you think Quint would attack an unarmed man.
Quinn's kind of watching that southern hallway, and they're all in that silent zone. So
okay, so he doesn't know what's going on.
he probably doesn't know what's going on. So he's still gonna, he thinks he's got enough allies behind him. He's not too worried about it. So he's still watching that southern corridor.
Okay. So Talon, what would you like to do?
I would like to strike at him.
Okay. You and Desert. Ooh. Miss.
We dropped a shield though, right?
Drop the shield.
Oh,
Still missed.
He did throw down his shield. So yes. So actually, armor class of 2 will hit. So go ahead and roll some damage.
2.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, he missed. Oh,
Desert wind. Okay. Min. This cleric, he's dropped his weapons, but so you can make a attempt. It's going to be a little bit easier to hit him with a normal weapon.
No, because men will go, hey, guys.
You can't. They can't. As long as you're in that shaded area, they're in silence.
Shaded
Yeah.
area.
It
it doesn't really show up.
Yeah, but
gosh,
that's
hold on. That's because dadgummit.
he's in silence. So yeah.
There you go.
Oh,
There you go.
okay.
In that shaded
Well, she'll
area.
go in.
Everything goes quiet as soon as you step into that area.
Yeah, so she grabs a hold of this guy's robe, pulls him back, grabs a hold of this guy's robe, pulls him back, and then waves her hands stop, puts her hands up stop kind of thing, trying to tell the others to stop hitting him. And then she shakes her finger at him at them shame on you.
Well, the Noel looks over at Min, shakes his head, and points back at your other companions, and then he makes a pantomime show it baring his teeth and biting.
And she goes over and shakes her finger at him and then smacks him on the top of the nose. Not hard, but bops him.
Okay. Meanwhile, this guy's sword, or this guy's mace and shield are on the ground. You just want to leave them there, or do you want to take those?
She'll bend down and kind of probably struggle to pick him up a little bit because she's kind of a lightweight. And she's looking at the other guy, still shaking her finger no.
Okay, so you basically take his weapon and his shield away from him, so he cannot.
Well, I hand him to the guy behind me.
Okay, all right.
And stays here.
Okay.
She's trying to stop them from hurting him.
Okay. Now Burrell, he he looks over at Alcott, and he grabs a rope, and then he grabs a rope with one hand, and he grabs a gag with another hand, and Alcott nods, and Alcott just steps up and very roughly puts a gag on this guy and ties a gag around him. And while he's doing that, Burrell just grabs his arms and starts to tie up his wrists behind his back. So, and the guy kind of tries to struggle, but Errol just sort of gives him a very nasty look, and this other guard will step up and just kind of point a weapon at the cleric while he's being tied up, like he better not resist. So now it looks like your retainers are actually binding him up,
Which I'm fine with.
all right. So
I just think I will. Excuse me. Go look at Brother Tuck once the guy's got a gag in his mouth. Looks at Brother's Tuck and kind of like makes the motion of, moves her hand like, making a mouth motion, like points to her ears, like trying to pantomime having him take down the silent spell.
And Brother Tuck looks over at Quint and says, "Oh, I think the priest has given up. Looks like they've gagged him, tied him up. Min wants me to drop the silence. Do you agree?" Quint, that's to you.
Oops, sorry, I forgot to unmute it.
Yeah. Oh, we heard you there for a moment,
there.
but now we don't hear you. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Oop. We can take it down.
Okay, you agree? So Brother Tuck will look back to Min, and he will nod, and he will do whatever you have to do in this edition to stop the spell.
And as soon as she can hear again, she's like, "How dare you guys? Shame on you. He surrendered and you guys kept hitting him. That makes us no better than him. Shame on you."
You're never going to be able to ungag him.
That's fine. But what I'm saying
So what
is,
are we going to do with him? He's better dead.
you don't know. Who does he answer to?
We've already been told he's the head guy in charge.
But somebody like him usually answers to someone else.
I look at the lieutenant. Does he answer to anybody else?
And the Lieutenant Silas says, "Oh, he's the head of the Earth Temple here. He is the one that controls the ghouls and controls the Earth Elementals."
Well, that's fine, but does he have a boss?
If he does, it's not here. Whatever power maybe helped to build this place, but certainly nobody I've ever heard come to, or all the orders we've ever heard about originate with Romag here. Used to be that they would come down to us through Hirsch, but now that you guys took him out a few weeks ago, this guy is all that's left. And then Silas looks over at Romag and says, if you learn how to pay people, not always try to use threats of violence to keep people in line, you might have people be more loyal to you, you bastard. And
Oh.
I'm going to tell him to strip him down to his skivvies.
So here's my suggestion. You keep him gagged and you turn him over to the king and his people. They surely have some way of keeping him secured without, needing
Well,
to have a gag in his mouth.
I can solve a lot of the problem. Just turn your back and I'll take care of it.
It's not very sportsmanlike.
I was just going to cut out his tongue.
Well, there's that too, but still, he surrendered.
I don't know what that meant. I couldn't hear anything.
Well, normally when somebody
Seems
throws
surrender.
down their shield and weapon and looks exasperated and gives up, it's usually because they give up.
And
I didn't see it.
He's listening to all this, and as he's hearing the suggestion of his tongue getting cut out, his eyes are kind of going a little wider, and he looks at Talon and he shakes his head no, like he doesn't want that to happen. And then when Min suggests that he's given up, he tries to smile around his gag and nods fervently at Min. And now it's like he's very much, he's kind of done the calculations and realizes that he's very much outnumbered here, and at least at the moment he's trying to act like he is going to be the cooperative prisoner as long as he can stay alive.
I look at
Yeah,
Min and I say,
hopefully
but he looks like he has a tasty liver.
You think everybody's liver is tasty. You'd even think mine was tasty if I gave you permission, but...
It probably is.
Oh, I'm sure it is, but I kind of need it. So, yeah. That's a no.
And I look at him and lick my lips.
So she kind of goes to the guy and goes, so it's going to be on your best interest to be on your best behavior, because this little savage here, and she kind of smirks a little bit to herself as thinking that, what's his bucket that's not here right now would be the one calling. Yeah, he's the one that calls her a little savage, practically. That she's kind of like, he's the type that will eat human or other humanoid flesh and internal pieces. So I would highly suggest that you be on your best behavior, because, well, I'm only a small little one. I have a hard time putting myself between somebody that's hungry and determined to eat your liver, and she's just kind of like...
Arcturus would have supported the actions.
And Errolk is kind of fishing at his collar at the moment, and he pulls out from under his armor and sort of thrusts into the face of this cleric his holy symbol of Clangadin. And he says, "Yes, we the gnolls of Clangadin, we know the dwarf god has a cookpot for people like you. You make trouble. We make you a stew. And the cleric's eyes just go wide at that. I mean, it's like probably the first time he's ever seen a gnoll with a dwarven cleric god, and then he may not have ever heard that bit of dogma about
A
the
cookpot.
worship of Clangadden.
Mhm.
I mean, certainly Clangadden is the dwarven god of war. So he's not above smashing people with a hammer or cutting them up with an axe, but cookpots, that might be a new one.
But then she kind of looks at him and she kind of, it's like she's thinking and she goes, though, if you were to sign an agreement, a binding agreement, that you would do no harm.
You can't trust this guy.
Yeah, Silas right behind Min. Silas says, I wouldn't trust him anything he put his name on.
Well,
We should still take his tongue.
I have a feeling that, if you make it magically binding, like, there's consequences if he breaks his vow. Like...
and the guy, he just his eyes go over to where the smoldering pieces of the javelin are, and he looks back at Min, and he's just kind of sweating a little bit now when he looks at Min, because clearly you do have access to some kind of magic that maybe you could force something magical, and it doesn't look like he's too comfortable with that idea.
But up to you guys. I mean, if we're gonna be a mercenary group, or we are a mercenary group, and we're trying to do good, we're recruiting all these people and stuff. We've got to have some rules, or at least something that guides us to be the better. Otherwise, we're just nothing more than like what he is or was. You know what I mean, guys? I mean, do we really want to lower ourselves to those kind of standards, to where we just off somebody because, well, it's convenient, instead of doing what's right? Because that's the way that you get people like the king to start side-eyeing you.
Alan's going to go over and grab one of the cooked arms and sit down on one of those beds and share it with Desert Wind.
Yeah, I see where I fall.
Uh,
I'm not going to listen to you, blah, 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 blah.
Let me take a quick peek here. Trying to figure out what the... Oh, okay, that would be it. Let me see if that's a general. That might be a general. No, that is... But that works. Okay. Oh. Quint. You can make me if you have it, you can make me an alertness check. And everybody else, if you have if anybody has the danger sense, you can make that, Or you could make a wisdom check with a minus 2 penalty.
I'll take the wisdom check with the penalty. I don't have that.
Okay. All right.
-2, you say? Okay.
Yeah, -2
There
for
we
wisdom.
go. And submit.
I have direction sense, but not danger sense.
Okay, so let me find out for. No. Oh, what is his? Oh, what are his attributes? There we go. So, wisdom. There's 2. No. Yeah, misses that. All right. Well, Quint. You are the only one of your companions, including Brother Tuck, who notices that while Min has been talking, this cleric is been kind of working. It looks like he's just about to work his hands loose from the bindings that Burrell has tried to tie his hands behind his back. So
I didn't feel anything.
You're sitting down sharing a meal with Desert Wind.
Yeah, but I used my danger sense. My psionic.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. You would notice that too.
Well,
Go ahead.
I was just say I would let Burrell and the others know that to watch him. He looks like he's starting to slip free.
Okay. Soon as that happens, Burrell just says, "Wrong move, mate," and the gnoll says, "You are dinner," and simultaneously, Burrell, Alcott, the gnoll, and the other guard just, stab him, and he starts to bleed out as they basically have him bound, and he's trying to struggle and get free, but that's that. It sounds like he was basically trying to use the distraction of a conversation with you to get everybody to hopefully keep everybody's attention off the fact that he was trying to get loose. So you get the opinion that this guy is probably a guy that wasn't going to be able to be trusted no matter what they did. Which kind of sucks because now you can't question him.
Talon looks at her and just shrugs.
He just shrugs back like, hey, he made his choice. He had a chance.
I kind of told you so.
Never know.
All right. Well, what you find with this guy is you find that quickly it becomes apparent that both his armor, which is chainmail, and his mace are both magical. It's chainmail +2 and a mace +1.
But chainmail's heavy armor, is it not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of medium or light, isn't it? Actually.
Well, it depends edition to edition. I forget what it is.
Oh, okay.
Well, does
some
Quint
editions it's medium, some editions it's
does
heavy.
Quint have magical armor?
I don't, but I can't wear anything heavier than studded leather or the flint mail. Otherwise, I can't do my 2-weapon fighting.
Or elven chain? You could probably wear elven chain, can't you?
Well, this is regular chainmail that's magical. It's not elven chain.
Yeah, I know.
Because
But
this was a human, right?
Yeah, he's a human.
He's
I mean, I
human.
I have leather armor that's magical, but it's still not, not great AC stat. But I don't want to wear that and give up my 2-weapon fighting.
He has a purse that has some electrum, gold, platinum, and a gem in it. Looks like a jasper. Nice shiny jasper. He also has a small light chain around his neck, and attached to that chain he has a what looks like what you would expect to see on a cleric, but looks like a holy symbol, but it's a different something different than what you have seen before. The symbol on this is the I'm going to save that. I'm going to put that here. Here. All right. Then I will do a handout in Beyond. Handout is Earth Cult holy symbol, and we will get the artwork, get the that there. We will save that, and then we will show it to the players. And it looks something like this. Oh, okay. All right. Well, interesting, because we have... So that's what the holy symbol looks like. It's on a metal plate, and the metal plate appears to be like steel or something, and then this is a raised ribbon of like silver that is in that device, in that shape. And that does not equate to any deities that any of you have ever heard of. So Okay. So Archimedes, do you say you want to take a look at that?
Well, his connection dropped, and
Oh, okay.
so
Oh, he's still on Roll20, but his connection on Discord dropped. Okay. Okay, I'll just tell you guys. Holy symbol is not magical. All right, so you guys can tell looking at it that it's, just like the holy symbols that the gnolls have, and even the holy symbol on Arcturus's shield, the symbol of Clang Adden. It might be a focus that he uses for his casting his spells, but in and of itself, it is not magical. It seems to be the same thing with this device that the guy is wearing. It's not a magical device, but he wears it like a holy symbol. So you guys can make of that what you will. All right. Anything else?
does Quint have a magical weapon?
I do not.
Well, are you married to the two you're using, or?
No, I can take the mace. Not proficient with it, so I don't know that I'll be worse to hit with it, I believe, than what I am now. I mean, I could hang on to it, and if I get into a point where I need a magical weapon, then I could use it at that point.
Well, you come across something that blunt weapons do better against, you could do that too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like certain undead or other certain kinds of creatures.
Yeah. I mean, if nobody else wants the mace, that's fine. It wouldn't be bad to have, like you said, for a blunt weapon or as a magic weapon.
Yeah, because if we come across a monster that requires a magic weapon, it'll be pretty evident.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
All
that's
right.
fine.
Okay, so we will leave you guys here with the determining what to do with the corpse of this cleric. Obviously, there's areas to explore, see what sort of stuff he might have in his quarters or whatnot. And then there's other places on this level to explore. Some places you've been that you want to check over again, other places you haven't yet been. We will come back and let me see. Are we going to be doing that next week? I want to say, is it the 18th or is it?
No game.
Yeah, I thought so. Yep. No game next week. So we will be back in is it 2 weeks? Yep, we'll be back in 2 weeks. So on the 25th of June, we will be back. And we will have a game then. And actually, I think I need to update the schedule for July, because I think we actually will have a game, unless some of you are traveling for the holiday weekend. We can have a game on the 2nd of July, because the date of that game that was going to be on the 2nd got moved. Got moved to the 3rd instead of the 2nd. So
I have
That's
4 weekends, so I won't be
Yeah.
available.
yeah. And for a lot of people, if they're doing any kind of travel this year, 4th of July weekend is likely going to be a weekend that they would travel. So we'll check in. I'll check in with you guys on the 25th, see what everybody's travel plans are, and we'll decide whether or not we're going to have a game that weekend or not. All right. Players, thank you so much for joining us. Sorry that Bob's connection was being flaky, and sorry that our Marcel had issues with his router tonight. I have been DM Galabon. This has been our Saturday Night Greyhawk viewers. We appreciate you guys being here. If you've enjoyed our game, please come join us again on Saturday evenings. You can subscribe or follow us on the Twitch and over on the YouTube. If you're watching the archives, you can subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, and click the post notification bell to get notified every time new content drops. We will be back tomorrow with our Planeswalking game. That's 2 p.m. Eastern Time. It's a 5th edition game. And there will be a Monster Monday going live at or premiering at 8 p.m. on Monday night. It is the Relic Grinder and some homebrew variants of that I've created. And then we should be back Wednesday night for the Sword Coast Chronicles game, where they are exploring Omu in the Tomb of Annihilation storyline. So you can join us all here on this same channel for all of that great content. All right, guys. Any announcements you want people to know about before we get out of here?
Nope.
All right. Well, then, viewers, thank you for joining. Players, thank you for playing. Take care, everyone.